All right, welcome everybody. So excited to hear some updates from people and to hear what's going on with everyone and what's happening. And um, Vivian, I'd actually like to start with you. I want to hear about your weekend. I know that's not an update on the product, but I'd like
No,
to
it's
hear.
not. It's not. And I did have that wellness fair in Nanaimo, and I intended to just go and read tarot, but then I decided I would put a little display because I had got the little postcards made up and made all the little display and made it really pretty. And I changed my whole presentation. Usually I work with my Australian Aboriginal art tablecloth, but this time I coloured everything to match the packaging of the Luminello. So I found this little cheap bed sheet that was purple in a shop here in town, and I put that and the little yellow bits and pieces around, and it just at first I was a bit worried because I thought, oh, will people not recognize who I am? But it didn't. In fact, I think I had more readings yesterday than I had in previous shows. But I also got a fair bit of attention with the Luminello and the Curie. And I'd said to Brian, I really only need one person. And then this expense has been made worthwhile. And so the very last girl that came for a reading had said she's working in a medical center and she's trying to think of a way that she can break free and work with the people who are coming in there, because she doesn't feel like as if the people in the medical center are connecting with them on a human level. And when
Mm.
I told her about the Curie and the Luminello, her face just lit up and she said, "That's what I need, isn't it?" And I said, "That's absolutely what you need." And unfortunately, that's the girl. She's just messaged me and said she forgot she had a children's swimming lessons this afternoon. But yeah, so she's looking at as using the Curie as a way of being able to step away from the medical system. I'll obviously have to have a long talk with her about what she's allowed to say and what she's not.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was really quite exciting, and the reaction to the frequency activated nutrition was wonderful too. It was just a really nice thing to see that I can go in this different direction and have excitement around it.
So I'm curious, did you, when you say you had a fair amount of interest in the whole Luminello setup and so on, uh, how did it feel talking to people as compared to ever doing anything before? Or have you ever done anything like that with the
Oh yes, I
nutrition?
have, and I've said this before too. I said um, I, I feel more at ease talking about this company mainly because of the Curie
Hmm.
than I've ever felt, and I have been in another network marketing company, but I felt totally at ease, and I felt like as if even talking about it, I felt like as if I've heard the things. You know how you say repetition is the way to learn, and
Yes.
I could hear some of Reg's words coming out, and finding that I was giving information that was credible, and people were interested, and it was really great. It was a different experience that I didn't really expect, and it was pleasant. It was really good. Because I think because I'm so well known, like I have had my setting with all my Aboriginal Australian stuff for like nearly 20 years doing markets around here, and I've never changed it.
Mm.
And I think that was what made me wonder, oh, am I doing a wrong thing here or not? And it was the perfect thing to do. But it did feel very comfortable talking.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, yeah, yes. And I did forget to mention the mini Curie coming out. I must admit that, but never mind. That's beside the point.
I know how exciting is it going to be to start doing
I
the
know
actual the shows with the Curies?
with the
I can hardly wait.
yeah, yeah. No, it'll be fabulous.
No, that's great. I'm so glad
Yeah.
about that. Well, we did a show on the weekend as well on Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a quiet show, which has nothing to do with us, but
No, no.
still it's so fascinating when people walk up and go, frequency activated nutrition. What is
Yeah, yeah.
this?
Well, ours was a really busy show, even though it was raining outside, and there was a lot of tents, like people with displays outside in the rain.
Oh my
But it didn't
gosh.
stop the people coming. They were in droves. It was amazing. Just a
Oh,
really
that's
good.
nice. That's
Which
we're
I
waiting for one of those. We have one of
yes,
those in a couple of weeks, I think.
yes, good, good.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I
So
like that.
that's
I
good.
like the Nanaimo crowd. It's really, and it's not that far away from here. When you say keep them close to home, it's like it took us an hour and a quarter to get home.
Yeah.
Um, you know, hour and three quarters. Sorry, hour and three quarters to get home. Yeah,
Still, that's
so
close enough. We
it's
were, how
close.
far were we, Lara?
Like just
Yarn.
under an hour.
Oh, just
Yeah,
under an hour. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But
But
that's
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
That's close for whatever you need to do. But
Well, and and it only takes a spark or two to actually get some flame going and
well,
some
for
fire
this
going in
girl,
you.
this one girl who, oh, and it was so bizarre how she came to me. Can I tell this story?
Yes, please.
She walked past early in the day and she had this most amazing red hair, like beautiful, beautiful red hair. And I commented on it. And I said, oh, I love your hair. And then I said, I know it's not politically correct to even do that these days and compliment somebody on their hair, but I don't care. I said, I used to be a hairdresser and I love it. Anyway, so she walked past and she didn't come back till later in the day, a good time later. And then she came and she said, yes, it's you I've got to have the reading with. So she'd obviously walked around the whole room to see who else was there. And anyway, she sat down and then she started, there was something that came to me that was why I'd commented on her red hair. And I said, my grandfather's twin sister had that same red hair. And that's got something to do with why you're talking to me now. I didn't know what it was. I said, but there's somebody here because I could feel somebody around me. And I said, so we're going to the grandparent. I said, did you have a grandparent or a grandmother or a grandfather or something? Because I couldn't quite get the connection. And her face lit up. She said, oh, of course, Granny just passed away. And of course, I chilled all over, and that's who it was there. And then we did all the talking. She had the reading. She paid me for the reading. And then she was going to pay by e-transfer. And she said, oh, what's your email? And I pointed to my name, Vivian, on the thing, and I said, it's just that, and added G and did the rest of it. And as she's typing it in, she goes, oh, that's my grandmother's middle name, Vivian.
Oh,
So
how fascinating.
it was like as if the grandmother led her there, not only to find this thing that can get her away from the job that she doesn't want to be doing, and she bought the tub of luminello and she's wanting to hear about the Curie. So and the grandmother obviously orchestrated that. So it was, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, that'll do.
So cool.
How
Yeah,
fascinating.
it was really fascinating.
Answered prayer for her, I bet.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
said, was it spelled the same? And she said yes, because my Vivian's an unusual spelling for here.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, no, she said it was spelled the same. So
Oh, that's so
yes,
cool. Thank you for sharing.
yeah.
Now we have something to share with you. Are you ready,
Yep.
Lara?
Which
So
one?
and I only had time to do this, but I went back to the very first video when I first tasted Luminello and last week's, because you just looked so beautiful last week, Vivian.
You,
Like
you
just,
really did.
oh my gosh, you just like 20 years younger. Anyway, so here's your picture comparison, maybe.
Yep, it's coming. I think.
So it's Christmas.
Oh no, just give me a second. It's
Okay.
disappeared.
Well, Vivian, while we're waiting for that picture, I'm also going to ask you, so what's one of your newest stories? In the 14 months since we started back in June on these calls, what's one of your newest stories that everybody has probably not all heard?
Well, my very newest one is my fingers, the pain-free state of my fingers right now. And I didn't realize it until I'd gone home to Australia, and my younger daughter was asking me to crochet some towels for her for Christmas, just like this one. You know, putting the crochet on the top. I don't know why I had that there. That wasn't important. And I was sitting there thoroughly enjoying doing the crochet, and I suddenly realized, why had I stopped doing this? I used to love doing it. And I remembered I stopped doing it because my fingers were so painful I couldn't do the crochet. And so that was what, and now I've got a bag full. I've done about another 30 towels. Yes, yours is coming, Melody. But I've
Thank you.
done about another 30 towels because it's just my fingers are so painless. They're just fantastic. But also, I've put a Band-Aid on this one at the minute because my fingers, they're almost back to normal. Like, I can't believe this one was so knobbly and so ugly, but they're almost back to normal. And the reason I've got a Band-Aid on that one is because one of them is actually, it burst the other day and it's releasing stuff out of that lump that was there.
Yeah.
So the lump is going down and it's just, but it's, yeah, so that's my latest story.
I'm curious, when you say the lump is releasing, did it just break
Well,
open? Develop?
well, yeah, it just came up like a big pimple.
Oh,
Then it just
fascinating.
burst and just sort of a liquidy thing coming out, but the actual lump connected to it has gone down. So it's obviously releasing stuff out of that lump.
Wow.
Anybody that's got hands like this knows what I mean by the lump.
Yeah.
Because they sort of come up either side of your finger. That was the worst one. And it's actually burst and letting the stuff out. So
that is extremely exciting to hear. Like that's really noteworthy. It was funny because I was telling yours and Carol H's story on the weekend about there was a lady, she was her fingers were all gnarled and lumpy, and like all of us women, she's hiding them. She doesn't want them to show because she thinks they're ugly and they're painful and they're all those things. So I said, no, I said, I've got 2 women that I know. I mean, my fingers feel better and I can do them. I mean, I can make a tight fist now, which is maybe a dangerous thing, but okay, you want to go? Yeah. But anyway, I didn't have as bad of lumps. I was starting on them. So she's like, really? And I said, no, really, they really did.
Well, see, I was the opposite. I never hid mine because I always used mine as an example, because Louise Hay says that stubbornness causes arthritis. So anytime there was somebody there having a healing and stubbornness came up, I would say, look, this will happen if you keep being stubborn. And now it's hardly worth it. Like they both look the same, and it's like, okay.
You've lost your scare tactic.
Oh, yes, I have. Exactly. Yeah, so now it's just, I'll have to think of something else.
Well, now you can make a fist.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Yeah, but no, that's my latest thing.
Okay, well, I found what disappeared before. Okay, Vivian, are you ready? Everyone, here it comes.
Look how tiny your face is. Whoops. What's going on?
I don't know.
You got Reg's problem.
Oh, my neck's bad. My neck was bad. It's actually getting better. I've noticed that the last few days.
Yeah.
My neck isn't as choppy as it was.
Yeah. It was quite, and I can't, it's hard to get the same angle when I'm chopping them out of a video, but it's like, what a difference in here. We can't see because some of it's behind, but still. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. So.
No. Actually,
I show people my gray hair ones from my very first day. I said, this is the day I placed my order.
Right.
I look pretty wicked, but anyway, it's fascinating to see that. So,
I didn't. All right. Yeah. I was really pleased because I've been noticing this has not been nearly so flabby.
Yeah, even mine is tightening up.
Yes.
Like it's not as bad.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, thanks, Vivian. I'm excited to hear what keeps going on with all of your shows and things that you do, because I have never experienced anything like having Luminello at a show of some sort.
Yeah. No,
I've never, in all of my years, I've never experienced what we experienced. So that's very cool.
It was wonderful.
All right, let's go on. Cindy, are you here? Are you able to talk? And welcome. Cindy was at the show with us this weekend. Cindy sells those beautiful little wired up hair bands that I wear sometimes. So,
can you hear me?
Oh, there. Yes, we can. Talk a little bit louder, though.
You can't see my picture. I don't know how to bring myself in there.
Okay.
Let me see if you can get this request.
I'm always in the black box.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I was at the same market that Melody was at, and I was sharing with her a lot of my big improvements that I've had since I've been using Luminello. And I had shared with the group, maybe I started in March, April, May, so maybe about June, that I had gone through quite a healing crisis with my back. And it improved so much that there was really from 1 to 10, maybe a 1. And then I went through another wave of that not long ago, and then it cleared right up again. And my eyes, I believe I have dry eyes, and they're slowly changing. They're same thing, sort of like with my back. It'll get really painful, for a while, and then the eyes are weeping more, like, and I'm waking up with less pain and more liquid in my eyes, which is fantastic. And so I went to BC to visit my son, and and we did a lot of walking on the trails in BC. And I haven't walked for years. Walking was a big part of my life. Forever. I used to walk and walk and walk until I couldn't walk anymore because of my back. So we walked different distances every day, and I had a little bit of tightness in my hips, a bit in my back, but I really didn't have a lot of pain. And there was a lot of energy. There's a lot more energy within me now than I've had in probably 20 years. And we went and played tennis, and I thought, okay, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this, because I didn't know that I would have the energy. We played for 3 hours. We goofed around for 3 hours, and I couldn't believe it, that I actually had the air to continue, the energy to run around on the court and get to the ball. We had a fantastic time, but I was just amazed at the level of energy that I had. The only thing that's changed is Luminello. It's the only thing. So it just showed me that. So, I walked every day that I was there. We were there for 10 days. I was so happy because it's one of my favorite pastimes. And this tennis thing, I've been thinking about playing pickleball, and because I used to play badminton and tennis way back in the day. And so it's basically shown me now that I can do these things, where if I hadn't played with my son, I probably would have not ventured out, So it was a great holiday in stepping out into all these different avenues and seeing where I'm really sitting. It's fantastic. And I said to Melanie, when we were sitting at the market, I said, Melanie, I think I look younger. I woke up, looked in the mirror one morning and went, oh, I think you look younger, And this saggy neck and these droopy jowls and things are going away. Yeah. So what else is there? And traveling. So when I travel, I get quite nervous and worrisome and fearful, and there was just none of that. There was just none of it. It moved through everything with ease, and was really, really great. So, and there's been there's been this Luminello creates a lot of calmness, don't you find? And and doing things that I normally wouldn't do, like walking in the bush for hours and walking in trails for hours in a place that I've never been before, I wouldn't do it. I'd be too fearful. And so off I went, and I walked for hours in the bush, and got my way back. And so it was a big epiphany going to BC and realizing what's in front of me.
Well, that's exciting, Cindy. You also mentioned that you find it much easier to stand and talk at these shows now too than you used to.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
less anxiety all around.
Yes. More confidence, big time. And I think I really realized that not long ago. I thought, wow, this is really comfortable. Where it hasn't been. It's been really nervy, you know, to chat with people and try and sell a headband and all that. But it's really quite comfy now and much easier. Yeah.
Awesome. You're like a walking little testimonial show for Luminello, seriously.
Yeah.
Cindy's one of the few that truly, and I'm not saying you all don't feel this, but has said, you know, like when she first started on it, she says, like, I can feel this stuff running in my body. I can literally feel the sort of sparkly through my whole body. So, you know, it's been a great impact. Thank you, Cindy. And I know that you're out there sharing the story and have a little team growing, and all you're doing is taking Luminello. So that's good. That's exciting. All right. We have a little video that we're going to show from Dwayne. He didn't send it for tonight. He sent it and we had a good laugh, which we're going to share in a minute. But before we do, is there anybody else that wants to share anything, any changes they've noticed over the last few months? Yes, Wendy, tell us what's going on for you.
So my husband thought he was 20 last summer and ended up having 3 really bad heart attacks. He was in the hospital for a month, and he also did a dissection in his major artery. And a dissection is when one layer of the artery comes away. So he's basically got sort of like a double artery because it's got a hole in the top and a hole in the bottom. So he went for his testing in July and he went in August to get the results. And September's been a blur. And so his, so this potential aneurysm is what they're calling it. It could turn into an aneurysm. So this potential aneurysm went from 4.5 millimeters to 4.1 millimeters.
Excellent.
Since he started taking Luminello. They don't usually go backwards. They usually just keep growing. So it's the only thing that he's doing different is Luminello. So that's very
Excellent.
cool.
I bet.
And yet with me, my eyes are getting better and better. So I threw away my glasses about 3 months ago because I just couldn't, my eyes were so blurry with the glasses on, it was like wearing magnifiers. So I went to the dollar store to get another pair of glasses because my cheaters I found, they weren't working anymore either. And I'm down to from 2.25 to 1.2.
Wow.
Excellent.
So I'm a health coach, so I've made myself as healthy as I can. And so this is just the icing on the cake.
Awesome.
So cool.
So that's the happy news for this week.
Good stuff.
Oh, and I'm also past president for Car Fair, and I don't know if you can see my anyway, this is basically what I've been wearing all since last Monday. So when you're behind the scenes, it starts the Monday before and ends at 3 o'clock the Monday after. And it's basically you start at 7 in the morning and you go till midnight. And yeah, I still got lots of energy.
And you're still going. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, they said
thinking about you on the weekend.
I was bartending at lunchtime today because we have our volunteer lunch, and they said stop againers, and I'm over here and I'm over there, and they just stop it. So it was lots of fun.
That's awesome. Good energy. All right. Thanks, Wendy. Anybody else who wants to share something? Any updates?
I'll share my squat
Okay.
update. So I've noticed a lot. So I've always been quite flexible, but what I've been noticing more often is my balance has become a lot better. So I'm noticing that, like, if I'm in a store looking at a lower rack or on the shelves in a grocery store, I'm literally squatting flat foot, really stable.
Mm.
So I'm constantly going into like a low, flat-footed squat, and I'm extremely stable and very comfortable in it. And I've never, like, I used to probably, like, I used to squat more on the balls of my feet going down, but I'm just going straight down, flat foot in a squat, and I just sit there.
Wow.
So I'm just squatting all the time, and like, and then I go up from the squat, and like no pain in my legs and my knees. Like, there's absolutely no, and when I say pain, it's like you don't even feel pull, if that makes sense. Like, normally you'd feel like your muscles pull or your glutes, or like, or you'd feel it in your knees, or then your calves, if your calves are tired. Like, I don't even feel it in my legs. I'm just going flat foot squat, like up and down, like nothing. So that's pretty fascinating.
I
So
have noticed it. I always think it's so funny that both you and Elena can squat like that.
yeah,
Like I'm excited that I
squatting
can
like a
just,
4-year-old again.
yeah, you are. You literally are. And I was excited when you yelled out, "Look at you squatting over there in the corner, picking something up off the floor last week when I was squatting." Because I always forget that I can do that. And so it's amazing. It's good.
You just
Well,
reminded me of something really stupid. One of the things that I've been noticing is how easily I get off the toilet. But listen to this. We stayed for 2 nights in a motel in Nanaimo, and they had this really high toilet. And it wasn't until I got home, I came out, I said to Brian, have you ever realized how ridiculously short our toilets are? And he said, well, yeah, I've noticed. So not only have I been getting up from the toilet from a ridiculously short toilet, but it's been getting better, and I hadn't even realized it. So when you said that, I thought, oh, I must tell them that. Okay, that's it.
That's like me getting up and down off
Yeah.
of Elena's little play table chairs.
Yeah,
Like,
I always had to
Yeah.
like I had to hold the thing at the side or be able to get myself up, and now I just get up and down. So I thought I'd share that.
that's awesome. And listen, it's a very valid statement when you get past a certain age. I remember working in this place in Toronto down on Bay and Bloor, I think it was. Anyway, the toilet was so low and my knees were so bad at that time. I had just, what do they call, Baker's cyst or whatever on the back of my knees that had just happened. I got in there one day and I'm like, I didn't know how I was going to get out. I finally had to get down, this is gross, on the floor and push myself up. I could not stand up off that toilet. It was so low. It was wild. So yeah, it makes a big difference, and how exciting to be able to just go bloop bloop and to be able to stand up and just start walking from a dead sit. All amazing things. Hey, Dwayne, welcome. So yeah, cool stuff. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Any observations, anything new in the last little few months or whatever since we last? That's awesome, Cindy. Cindy says she's caught a cold and she's usually down for the count. As you all know, I was in rough shape last Monday, running a fever through our entire thing. It broke right after our call. But you know, the thing that I'm amazed with, I don't know, like I think about my age group, and if you're getting the cold flu, the newest version of life that's going around, I don't know how I'd be doing it without Luminello and a couple other things I'm taking. I don't know how I'd be doing it. It's truly miraculous to have the ability to fight whatever it is that's going around. And I, I'm glad to have had to experience it, because I feel like my system needed to clear out at another new level. But still, it's been quite the force, I'll tell you. So that is good stuff. Did we lose Dwayne?
No, he's in the corner.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Oh, there you are. Before we go on, and because we want to show Dwayne's video. So
Yeah, Dwayne, you've come in perfect timing.
it was totally perfect. All right, let's show it, Lara.
Okay, so to put it in context, Dwayne sent us a little before and after. So let's just
Let's see what he says. He says, "What do you think? Am I growing more hair? Are you all ready?"
and we said yes. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, what is that gray thing?
Wow.
Oh,
Can you
no
see
sense.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
why is
not
there
really
no?
well.
Hold on. I don't know why there's no volume in that.
I don't think he said anything. Did he?
Yeah, that's the best part.
Oh, oh yeah, right. He did.
Find my microphone.
Okay.
Look how young Dwayne looks.
Look here.
Wow. Wow.
Look at that full head of hair.
Wow. That's
I don't know if it's full or not, but
It's
more
fuller.
than it used to be.
It's
Much
definitely
fuller.
fuller. Yeah. So, all of you who are getting people started, and if they are a little thin on top, make sure you're telling them to take a good picture, or you take a good picture of them, because it is the one thing, again, I'll go back to look at my hair. This used to be a gray stripe. Now it's a black stripe in my hair. I don't even know this is all new growth, all this stuff. I don't know how my hairdresser is going to work with it all, but he's pulling it all together. So yes, Carol, go.
This just brought to mind a silly thing, this hair business. I don't know whether it's good or not, but Ron said to me, I don't know what's happening, but I'm getting lots of hair on my arms lately. And I didn't dare say anything.
You don't tell him. That's amazing. Oh, you know what else? But do you know what's happening for me? Finally, although I said to Lara, I'm getting like just single hairs now. I'm not getting lots of hairs here. So great. Now you're going to look like a catfish.
No, because all of my hair is like so when going back to hair, so I've had laser everywhere. So I've been lasered and it's come back fuller
oh,
than before. And it's not like it was laser years ago. It was like literally less than a year, 15 sessions or whatever it was. All my hair back full forwards. My facial hair, my eyebrows are growing in all the time, even if I'm plucking them. My mustache too is coming in thicker. So it's just, but also all the hormonal balance stuff. So, even shaving the legs. Mel even complained over the summer. She's like, oh, I have to shave my legs again.
I didn't have to for a long time. That and my nails. Honest to goodness, I have never filed my nails so much in my entire life. It's wild. Ever. So, whatever's going on, our bodies are just regenerating, renewing, and I find it really fascinating also that every 4 months now that it's been 14 months, how many of you are aware of like about a 3 or 4 month cycle? And if you are not, watch for when you think that something hurts again. It's like, oh, my fingers are aching. What's going on? And the next thing you know, everything's improved. But I've noticed it's like, and I remember this before with another supplement. It was my mom at the time that said, "This is so weird, Melody. I'm going through this." And I said, "Mom, I just went through it and I'm a week or two ahead of you. And so we started tracking and we started going a 90-day cycle almost. So 90 to 120 days when all those cells are coming back regenerated properly. I think we're feeling the difference of those. And it's just uncanny. I don't even know how to explain getting pains in my lower belly roll. And the next thing I know, it's like a belly lift, a tummy tuck. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, it's not gone that far, but it's close. It certainly helps. So I just want to read the notes. Olana said she noticed her hair is getting thicker too. And Wendy said her husband is becoming a reverse skunk. He has a dark stream down the middle, about 4 inches wide. That must be kind of funny to see, but yeah. So, all right, good stuff. Yes, Wendy, don't ask me what I was going to say that, but Susan. No, Meredy.
Lily,
my
no,
mind.
I'm only kidding. I just
Oh.
wanted to say today's the really weird because normally when I'm getting up and getting dressed, I'm trying to balance on one leg to put one leg in my pants at a time, especially your underwear, right?
Yeah,
Well, today
it was
I
a
lifted
goal of
my leg
mine.
and stepped in, and then I lifted my other leg and stepped in, and I went, oh, I didn't fall over.
I remember, Meredy, when that was actually a goal of mine, that I could put my pants and my undies on without having to sit on the side of the bed.
Or to hang on to something.
Or to
yeah.
hang on to something. Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
huge
that's so
there.
weird.
So back to the balance, because I've noticed how much better my balance is, that I can, if I were to trip on something, I can actually catch myself and no longer feel like my body is jarred to the nth degree. And Cindy has written in there that she actually wiped out playing tennis and healed very fast and did not hurt after her fall. So
Wow.
it really does change the balancing of your body. But I think my whole skeleton, is the structure of it is so different. I get to see my chiropractor in a week back in Vancouver. I can hardly wait.
Your whole structure has changed. Like Melody also went through her closet again this weekend, and literally she was swimming in all of her clothes that we just
I bought these in June. May, June.
Well, why aren't I swimming in mine?
We all want to be swimming.
I don't know.
Me
It's
too.
Lara's starving me to death. Not. Anyway, I don't know why. I don't know what. I know that it feels like a balancing in my body. And the weirdest thing, like, so some of the things that I wore, so I bought them May, I guess it would be May. And the one top is like a hoodie. It's literally like floating on me like this up in this area. So I don't know what's going on, but everything. Lara's like, okay, I can try shrinking that. It was a whole basket of clothes for her to try shrinking. So we'll see. Anyway, it's been fascinating. So yes, I think luminal strength. I know luminal strengthens our muscles.
Yeah.
That's one of the studies. It strengthens them, but it also brings, again, if those cells are correcting, it's bringing back correct cells as well. And so, or our body is coming back, building the cells correctly. And it just,
And
again,
NAC,
I continue.
NAC and glutathione is one of the biggest things that anyone who's serious about training or athleticism, that's part of their daily routine, just for the recovery as well as the muscle strengthening and muscle mass.
And from the studies, it's even with young kids. The one study I read on sports, it's even with young kids. So, your 10, 12, 14-year-old, it's making a difference for them too. So anyway, fun stuff. Thank you, everybody. Is there anything else anyone wants to share or speak into or ask before we head off? I just wanted to catch up and see what everybody was doing on their journey of Luminello, and it's always fun to find that out and check that out and see where we're going. So
I overslept there. I fell asleep there again. I
no
wanted to ask,
problem.
since I missed most of it, has anybody got any to report on their eyesight at all? Any improvements?
Wendy did on hers, as far as her cheater. Are they prescription or just cheaters?
I have prescription sunglasses. I can't see through them. I've gone from 2.25 down to 1.25 in the last 6 months.
Yeah, it's
So
huge.
my eyesight is getting much better. I can read so much more without the glasses. It's just the fine print now. I need glasses.
I know, isn't that fascinating? I catch myself squinting because I'm now reading without my glasses half the time. It's crazy.
And Janet's the same way. She doesn't
Yeah.
need her glasses anymore either. So
Cool beans. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask how everybody was doing on that, because I'm not getting any improvement in mine yet. But what I've noticed the last little while, I'm starting to get sleep in my eyes. So I don't know if it's finally going to start working on that or what, eh?
I don't know. I think
But
it's the crap they're spraying on us, but I could be wrong.
yeah, I was hoping to get some improvement, but nothing yet.
So, can I just address that? When you're doing any kind of thing with vitamins, minerals, that type of thing, it usually goes to the part of the body that needs it the most. So it could be something that it's fixing inside of you before
Yeah.
the eyes, because the eyes are not as important as something else.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's
Yeah,
what we
and it's
all,
the body that chooses it.
yeah,
It's sort of
that
nothing we
seems
can
to
do
be
about
how
it.
it works. And then just the other thing, when Melody was talking about the cycles, the 3 or 4 month cycles, the only thing I ever seem to notice is before something starts to change, I have cramping, my legs or something, or particularly my ankles. They cramp up. Has anybody noticed that? And then
Oh
that
yeah.
goes away a couple of days.
There are
And then after a
some
while,
nights
Yeah.
like
it
my
almost,
feet hurt so bad, or my knee, whatever it is that's in the middle of healing. That's the healing crisis. It hurts so bad. I have cried at
yeah.
one point. It was so bad. So yes,
Well,
it's
whenever I do that, it lasts for a day or a night or whatever, and then it goes away, and then I feel better for some reason. It seems to be an indicator of an end or a beginning or something. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
My
then I'll
teeth
go
are
a
like
few
that too.
months.
It like
I might,
flares up for a day or two and then it goes away.
yeah, and then I'm good for a while,
Hmm.
but I feel good, and then all of a sudden it's like a reminder or something, or then you stop
No,
and think,
it's actually that's what the healing crisis is, Dwayne. Like that literally. It's like if you had an injury there, think about your ankles and your, ankles and feet, and that how many injuries we've had over our lifetimes of sliding over on the side, falling off a curb, whatever it might be. And it comes, so I don't know, it's almost like it's igniting all the pain so it can clean it up. It's like it's almost like when Vivian says the arthritis on the hands, those bumps, for that to be leaking or releasing, whatever you call. I've never heard of that. That's incredible that this stuff has that much power to it, that your body is literally eliminating whatever it's stuck in there. It's stubbornly stuck in there for the arthritis, right? And so I think it's just I've heard this again and again and again over the years, but it's super intense with Luminello when you're going through a healing crisis. It will make whatever injury, it'll make it hurt more. And maybe it doesn't hurt more, but it hurts like when you first heard it and it, carried on and ignored it for the most part. And it will come back, but it will heal. The longest I've ever had was the pain, and in that, like I say, that bottom roll of my belly, and the next thing I know, it's like my belly was 2 or 3 inches higher. It's crazy. Maybe it wasn't that much, but it feels like it. And like I said, none of my clothes are fitting anymore, so going shopping this week. So, but yeah, the healing crisis is a thing. So herxing is when the body chooses whatever it needs to fix
yeah, that's
first. It
all I wanted
knows
to
what
mention.
needs done, right? So that's the herxing. But the healing crisis is the reversal of whatever has been injured or hurt or harmed. And you're going to feel the pain for a day or two, maybe even a week. Like I think up to a week I have felt it in some areas, but yeah. So we're all getting better and we don't even have the cure yet. Can't wait. Literally can't wait. Some of the questions that I watch, like I said, I'm in some of the other healing frequency devices. I'm in some of the groups in Facebook. And the questions that get asked, well, can we do this? Oh, yes, just use this setting. Can we do that? And, you know, some of it they can't find. And it's an absolute nightmare watching all the things they go through to try and figure things out. So I'm really looking forward to ours because ours sounds so much simpler. Be able to do it. So if you haven't read The Resonance Effect, cannot encourage you enough to read it, to know what's coming our way. I think until you read that book, you absolutely have no idea what's heading for us. So that is all I've got. I don't have any other updates. Anybody else have anything they want to add? All right, we are good to go. Everybody have a fantastic week. See you next Monday. What is next Monday already? October 2nd, maybe? 2nd? All right. We'll see you there. We'll let you know what's coming. If you have any questions or suggestions, absolutely let us know. Good to see you all. Good to hear your stories. And bye for now. Love you all. Bye.